have something that I would like to think is a very small request to make. Hearing people, can you please stop hanging up on us deaf people when we try to call you? Please. I found this article on CBC, which is a Canadian news thing, and a woman was trying to call via video phone about something, and the company that she was calling hung up on her, and they were like, yeah, we don't want whatever it is that you're selling. And I just want to say, deaf people are not telemarketers. I mean, there might be a deaf telemarketer out there, but just give me a second, let me further explain. So first of all, how the hell do deaf people actually call other people? Way back when you had TTYs, which were big chunky, well back then were big chunky kind of typewriter things. I'm pretty sure they were called teletypewriter, that was their full name. And it was big chunky, like a keyboard. Think of a keyboard for a PC. They look like that, maybe a little bit chunkier, and they have a screen, and they have the little things that you put the phone on top of, right? And you would call a relay operator, and then you would write, hi, operator, please call 555-555-5555, whatever. They would connect you with that person. If the company picks up and they have no idea what the heck is going on, then the operator will be like, okay, so this is what a relay service is, you know, you're on the phone with a deaf person right now, and we're just gonna play messenger, basically. So that was that way, it was that way for a very long time. People in the United States don't really use it that much anymore. If they do, it's probably mostly the older generation. Canada was still having to use it more recently until, was it last year, either 2017 or 2016, when video phones finally became more of a thing here. Don't quote me on that, something like that. And you know, probably in other countries that are more developing, that don't quite have video phone yet, they likely probably still have TTY. And actually, Apple has their own TTY software embedded onto an iPhone, which I actually still use myself. Ricky, why don't you use a video phone? Because I don't trust myself with my not fluent knowledge of sign language to have a serious phone call, like say for a doctor's appointment or something. It's just, I prefer English when it comes to stuff like that right now. But that's another way that people call, especially now in the United States and most recently Canada. They will use a video phone, which is the same thing, but in sign language on a screen. They'll call an interpreter. The interpreter will then connect that call to Domino's. Let's just say Domino's. We're gonna order a pizza. And the operator is gonna, hey, you have a deaf person that's calling you. You can just say whatever you need to, and I'm gonna sign it back to them, and you know, we go back and forth. When something like this happens, when you have a third party in the conversation, people do think that there's a telemarketer or somebody's trying to sell something, even though we're trying to explain that no, that's really not what's happening. And I have a few examples of this myself, because I have been hung up on quite a few times. One of the earliest ones I can think of is I ordered some food, I got the food, I came back home, and what I should have done was I should have checked the food beforehand before I left, but I didn't. But I went home, I opened it up, and my order was wrong. I think it was missing something, I don't know. And I tried to call, and actually the person who picked up the phone is someone I went to school with, or was someone that I went to school with, and you know, I was trying to have a conversation, and they're like, yeah, we don't want whatever you're selling, and they hung up on me. And I was like, that was it. No chance to explain, even though the very first thing I think that is usually said from an operator is, have you ever received a relay call before? If not, let me explain. So I called them back, and I think it was the same person that I went to school with that picked up, and I was like, and when they're like, hey, can I help you? You know, whatever. I'm like, yeah, can you not hang up on me? I don't remember what happened. I think I got free potato soup, like a whole big chunk of it, and it was great. Worth it. And most recently, last year, I went to sign up for the gym that I go to now, and I wanted to find out their rates, because the rates aren't anywhere on the website. So I wanted to call and you know, find out, because I don't want an expensive gym. So I went to call, and it was just kind of back and forth. Like the operator did explain what was going on, but then the person behind the desk was very, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. He's kind of just butting heads, really, and he's like, what is the point of this phone call? And I'm trying to say, I'm literally saying, I'm like, I want to know the rates of your gym. I would like to join. I want to know how much. Go ahead. So the operator, you know, sends that message to them. And the reply is still, yeah, I don't know why you're calling me right now. We're very busy. Like, leave us alone. Stop bothering us or whatever. I'm like, did you understand that I am saying I want to know what your rates are? And, you know, I just got hung up on it. I was like, okay. And I found the owner on Facebook and I messaged her and I was like, hey, I just tried to call your gym and I don't know who was on the phone, but I was trying to find out my rates and, you know, I'm deaf and I was calling with this and that. And I got hung up on. I did not just get hung up on. I got a very bad talking to. And she was like, oh, we're very sorry. Please come over in about 2 hours and I'll give you a tour myself. I went over to the front desk at the gym. I talked to the guy that was on the phone with me and he apologized. He goes, I'm sorry, I've never had that kind of phone call before. And I was like, it's okay, I'm over it now. But we did explain to you what was going on and I did simply say, I want to be a customer. So it was, deaf people are not trying to be telemarketers. It's just a regular phone call. Well, maybe not a regular phone call, but you know, there's a third party involved. There's a little step in there, but can you please stop hanging up on us? Because we also have to do things. We also are busy and nobody really likes getting hung up on when they're having a busy phone call, you know, or an important phone call. It's like, can you imagine if you were trying to like call 911 or something and they're like, yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, and hang up. I don't think 911 would do that. I'd like to think that 911 would not do that. Maybe some sort of hospital would do that, but Also, one more tip for anyone that may receive this kind of call. It's like a regular phone call in the sense that when you want to talk back to me, like say I'm talking to you, you say, okay, so you want this, you want that, you need this, okay, we will set this up for you. You don't need to say, okay, well, tell her that we will get this set up for her if she wants this. You don't need to do that, and it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's just the little thing that kind of makes it awkward, I guess, you know? Like when I'm still making the conversation personal and I'm going, well, you know, and but they're going, yeah, tell her, tell them, tell that woman, ma'am. Like, it's a little weird, but the more correct way to go about it, you can do that. It's fine. It's actually preferred. So there's my little tip regarding phone calls and deaf people who come in with a phone call using TTY or a video phone, VRS. I don't know a whole lot about VRS, but I'm sure if you ask some questions, I have some friends that I can invite back down into the comments to answer your questions about them. And yeah, if you want to follow me on my social media, I have my usernames right down here. If you want to send a letter or anything, I have my P.O. Box address right up there. Patreon and last video over there. And coffee/tip jar down there in the info box and pinned comment below. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you later. Bye.